All right, guys, here we go. I was waiting in the hopes that we could get an update on this MRI, but I cannot find any information. So I really want to put out this GoldCast. I know the people want it. I have a lot of people asking me, hey, when's it coming out? Can't wait to hear your reactions. I waited purposely for Game 5 to go through. And so here we are. I mean, my God, there's so much to get into. You've been hearing it all day. Now it's time for the GoldCast Nation, the voice of Dub Nation, the voice of the faithful, the voice of the Bay. It's time for me to weigh in. But before I do, just remember you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, all great platforms where podcasts are sold for free. You can find us on youtube.com/thegoldcast. You can find us on iTunes at @the_goldcast. Like, subscribe, comment. We try to read as many comments as possible on the GoldCast. At least the interesting ones. We get a lot of comments, and they're great comments. But, I try to include the ones that spark conversation. And we do get some very good ones. So don't forget to like, subscribe. Go on to iTunes. Do me a favor. It takes 30 seconds right now. Pull over your car. Pull out your phone. Don't get into an accident, but definitely pull over your car. Don't do this while you're driving. That'll make me very upset. And open up the GoldCast podcast. Go in there, give us 5 stars, and say, love the podcast. That's all you got to do. Real simple. You can do it. Please do it. Make it happen. Do the right thing. As my brother Ray would say, do the right thing. All right. It's time. Class is in session. And your professor of analysis is here. Let's go.
San Francisco, are you ready?
This is the GoldCast.
Boom! Welcome to another edition of the GoldCast. We're the voice of the Bay. I'm your host, Rudy Suisse III. And with me is you, GoldCast Nation. I'm back, baby. Here we are. Game 5 is in the books. I don't even know where to begin. We lose games 3 and 4. You know that the home team has not won since game 1? It's been 3 straight games where the road team has won. That is crazy. 4 straight games. 2, 3, 4, 5. Home team has lost every single game. This was one of the strangest games I've ever seen. It was emotional. I'm getting messages left and right from all over the place, from GoldCast Nation, from friends, just everywhere. I'm seeing all kinds of different messages, people reacting to the game in real time. Obviously, I'm not even going to bury the lead. We're going to go right into it. I was so proud of the Warriors and their resiliency. This team, they are champions. They are truly the champs. They fight like a boxer. It's 12 rounds, and no matter how hard you hit them, they're like Michael Meyers, man. They just keep getting back up. Every time they shoot him, they hit him with a truck, they stab him with a knife, they push him off the roof of a house, and then every time they do that, they look, and there's Steph Meyers, Clay Meyers, and for a little while there was KD Meyers. But unfortunately, like I said, I'm not going to bury the lead. We're just going to get right into it first. I woke up this morning, I don't know about you guys, but I woke up this morning feeling so proud of the Warriors and then sick to my stomach about Kevin Durant. And there's so many hot takes right now. I mean, you literally could take your breakfast and put it on top of these hot takes, and you could have your pancakes and eggs like right there. Like you don't even need the stove right now. There's so many hot takes. And the thing, I don't have any hot takes for you. In fact, my job today is going to be to pour water all over these bullshit ass hot takes. It is nobody's fault. Warriors aren't to blame. KD is not to blame. There's nobody to blame. This was a mutual decision, as Bob Meyers said. Bob Meyers was extremely emotional after the game. He talked about how this was a collective decision, but if you wanted to put the blame on anybody, you could put it on Bob Meyers. I don't put it on Bob Meyers. Everybody out there saying that this is the Warriors' fault and this was ridiculous, and I even heard ex-players complaining about this. KD's a grown-ass man. He's entitled to make his own decision. He was not ready on Thursday. They felt like he was a go yesterday, and he went out there. That's it. And I feel sick to my stomach that he possibly may have torn his Achilles. Like I said, I've been looking online. I can't find anything. I was waiting and hoping we'd get some answers so that I could comment on it on the GoldCast. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen right away. And here we are in a situation where now KD goes down and is possibly out for 12 months and will have to come back from the worst possible injury you can have as a basketball player. Oddly enough, I think that Richard Sherman weighed in a bunch. Richard Sherman of the 49ers weighed in a bunch, and he said some things that gave me hope for KD. He said yesterday on Twitter, he said, quote, "He probably strained his Achilles. If he tore it, he wouldn't be able to flex that ankle." Then he said after that, an hour ago, he said, "It really frustrates me listening to current and former players act like anyone could have kept KD from playing last night. Every single athlete worth their weight dreams of playing in the championship game of their sport. Most of us making that same decision. We fully know our bodies and what we are risking, especially at the professional level. I am sure there were attempts to persuade him to continue to wait. He's built different than the people saying he shouldn't have played. Maybe that's why they've gotten where he is. Respect the man's heart and sacrifice. Appreciate what he tried to do for his team. KD, keep your head up, brother. It takes a warrior to go out there knowing what you knew. Respect coming from someone who knows personally how that felt." And I love that. I thought that was right on. Definitely 100% right on. I couldn't agree more. And hopefully when he said that he wouldn't be able to flex his ankle like that, I think hopefully that gives us some hope that it isn't as bad as it seems. Wanda Durant, Kevin Durant's mom, I ended up retweeting this. She said, "For all of you who question my son as a man, question his heart, question his integrity, and question his love for the game of basketball, you don't know him. He has a heart of a true warrior. This too shall pass. God bless you all." And I retweeted it because I thought that was true. And Bob Meyers said it too. You know what really pissed me off? Okay, I'm gonna get a little hot takey. You know what really pissed me off was when Tim Kawakami goes out there and puts before the game that, some within the Warriors organization are questioning his injury and don't understand why he's back. First of all, I'm not even going to pretend that I like Tim Kawakami, because I don't. Me and Raymond have made that abundantly clear on this podcast, on the GoldCast, for 5 years. I don't like Tim Kawakami. Guess what? He doesn't like the GoldCast. He blocked us. He doesn't like us. Tim Kawakami doesn't like us, and we don't like him. And it's okay. I think it's a sign of respect. If Tim Kawakami blocks you, that is a sign of respect. I was like, man, I want to put that on a T-shirt. Tim Kawakami blocked me. That should be on my shirt. That'll be on the first. That'll be on a GoldCast shirt one day. So I'm not a fan of his, and I love how Bob Meyers basically addressed what he said in the press conference after. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely go see it. It is very emotional. I was shocked. I mean, my jaw dropped to the ground. Bob Meyers is virtually in tears, and we all know. I don't need to recap it. Anyone who's listening to this podcast has probably already seen it or heard it a million times. But I think he really captures the severity of what's going on right now. Dub Nation, this has been a gut-wrenching, heart-ripping out finals, and I don't know what's going to happen. It's been thoroughly entertaining and really heartbreaking. I'm not entertained by seeing KD go down. I don't think anyone's entertained by seeing KD go down. It just really sucks that this happened. And my heart goes out to Kevin Durant. My heart goes out to Dub Nation. We get one more game back at Oracle, and I want nothing more. I want nothing more than Golden State to win. They barely held on, 106-105. Game ends with Kawhi Leonard bringing the ball down. The refs, I don't know what to say. Everyone says this. The refs, they suck so bad. Oh, man, there were just some really questionable calls. Boogie goes out there. Again, I kind of going back to my original prediction after game one, I thought we weren't going to see him again for the rest of the year. But here, all of a sudden, he has to go out there. And he almost gives up the game. I don't even understand how that that one shot was goaltending, I was like, what? I don't understand. That was a really questionable call. And it looks like we might cough up the game. Clay and Steph dropped those nasty threes to regain the lead. They were down by 6 with less than 3 minutes to go. I thought it was over. I was like, oh man, they're gonna do one of those things where they just run out of gas at the very end. And then out of nowhere, that Klay Thompson 3 to regain the lead, and the look on his face, man, I love when he gets at that level. He's just so nasty at that level. Warriors are playing excellent defense, double teaming Kawhi, not really letting him go out. The ball ends up in Kyle Lowry's hands. He goes up for a shot right in the corner from 3-point range. Draymond, in the replay, it shows that Draymond actually did get a couple fingers on it. Although I just like to sit here and think that Kyle Lowry just sucks, and it's just, and that was just how bad of a shot he took, because it went behind the backboard. It was so bad. But I believe that actually what happened was that Draymond Green hit the ball and got his fingertips on it, and now we force Game 6 back at Oracle. Man, what a game. And of course, like I said, I wake up this morning and I just feel the weight of both. I feel the excitement of the win, the heartbreak for KD, and buried in all of this is the fact that Kevon Looney is gone too. Once again, we are playing with, I was calling it it's Steph Curry and his kooky quartet. That's really what it is. Steph and his kooky quartet. I don't understand, for those of you that don't understand that reference. So back in the day in Marvel Comics, there was this one version of the Avengers team. It didn't last long, and it was Captain America. I can't even remember who the guys were. Let me see. Okay, so it was in Avengers issue 16. We're going super nerdy here. Stan Lee decided to get rid of all of the major players, Thor, Iron Man, Wasp, Giant Man, from the Avengers, and he replaced them with Hawkeye, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch. And it was known as Cap's Kooky Quartet. That was the name of the crew. And that's what Steph had in Game 4. It was Steph and his Kooky Quartet. And we're kind of back to that, although Clay is definitely not that. Draymond's definitely not that. I'm in no way bashing the team. The problem is that I just don't understand where our offense is going to come from. I really want this team to win Game 6, because I believe if we force a Game 7, Toronto will fold like a blanket. It will be done. It will be done. I do not believe that Kyle Lowry and those sorry-ass Raptors will have the ability to beat this team if we force a Game 7. But we got to get through Game 6. All we got to do is win Game 6. But at the same time, where's this offense going to come from? Who's going to deliver offense for us? You got Steph and Clay, and where's our other points going to come from? Livingston has been a shell of himself. I feel like he's probably going to retire. Andre Iguodala has been great, but not really efficient on offense. I'm looking here at the scoreboard. You got 26 from Clay, 31 from Steph, so that's almost 60 points. You did get 14 from Boogie. You got 10 from Draymond, 5 from Iguodala, 0 from Livingston, 3 from Cook. I don't know where this other, 10 from 11 from KD. And I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen in Game 6. I want so badly. Here's what I want to have happen. I'm a little all over the place today. It's a very emotional day for the GoldCast. Also, if you hear those a little click in the background, that's my tiny dog Rocky. That's his way of being a part of the GoldCast, is he loves to walk around as I talk on it, because he knows how much you as fans would love to hear the sound of his little feet crossing the floor. That he knows how excited you are by that. That everyone wants to hear a dog walking in the background of a podcast. It's my favorite way to listen to a podcast. I actually don't listen to any podcast that doesn't have a dog walking in the background. That's like my one caveat. So anyways, going back to this. So here's what I want to have happen. I want the Warriors to gut this out. I want them to win. Then I want them to go back to Toronto. I want them to win Game 7. I want them to rip the heart of the Toronto Raptors out and dump it in Jurassic Park while they raise the Larry O'Brien trophy for a third year in a row. That's my dream. That's what I want to see happen. Can we talk about the Toronto fans for a second? Can we just, for 1 second, I have to hit this. I almost wanted to open with this because this has basically become San Francisco versus Canada. In fact, that's what I'm going to call this podcast. This one's going to be called San Francisco versus Canada because that's what it's become. A group of fans started cheering when he fell. The Toronto players and the Warriors players started basically telling the crowd to knock it off. Clay basically said F you to the crowd. And I even saw Serge Ibaka. I mean, I saw all kinds of players going, hey, calm down, calm down. Then they were respectful. They were, clapping in support as he walked out of the stadium. I thought it was just really disappointing. But I will say this. It just started about 10 minutes ago. I retweeted it. If you go to my Twitter at RudySolis3RD, you can see it there. A Toronto fan put up a GoFundMe and said, "Hey, let's raise $1,000 for KD's charity, his foundation." That some of those fans don't represent all the fans, and so I would like to start a GoFundMe, and 100% of the proceeds will go to Kevin Durant's charity. It's like $1,000, and I retweeted it. I was like, you know what? That's cool. That is actually cool. That makes me feel a little better because I was pretty pissed off. And right at that moment, I was like, oh, I see. Now it's a San Francisco Bay versus Canada. Let's go. Build a second wall. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. No, build it. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, build it. Just around Toronto. I'm just kidding. Anyways, I thought that was a good gesture because I was pretty annoyed with them. So here we go. Game 6. I want to look at some people's predictions online. Dax said Warriors in 7. My boy Andy Laird said Warriors in 7. Coming back from 3-1 down. Damn, called it. Called it back on June 2nd. Wow. Well done, Andy. Steve Fox said he wants KD back. They can still win, but he wants KD back for years to come. I completely agree. Steve also had originally predicted Warriors in 4. That clearly did not happen. I agree. I hope Warriors in 7. I'm very much afraid of what's going to happen in Game 6. Luckily, it's at home. But, man, this is very nerve-wracking. This is very scary. I'm very nervous for this game. I was very nervous for last game. I was very confident in Games 3 and 4. And then I was just disappointed. And also understandable why, Game 4 was just a real tough one. And now we have Game 5, and I was genuinely nervous, and now that's done. And now we have Game 6, and I'm still nervous. I just don't know where the offense is going to come from. I expect the defense to continue to play tough. The Raptors' offense really kind of peaked in Game 4 and came back down to earth in Game 5. Let's hope it can stay on earth in Game 6. So tell me what you think. Do the Warriors force a Game 7? Let me know in the comments. Go to YouTube. That's the best place to do it. Let me know in the comments. Do you think the Warriors will force a Game 7? And will KD re-sign with the Warriors? Steve Fox, I agree with you, my friend. I hope he's back for years to come. All right, we'll be back Thursday or Friday morning after Game 6. And we will be discussing one of two things. Either the Warriors are going back to Toronto or they're going to San Francisco next year. One of the two is going to happen following Thursday's game. All thoughts and prayers go out to Kevin Durant. Really bummed out. Thank you so much for coming back and trying your hardest to make this happen. And it really sucks that this went down this way. Pretty heartbroken on that end. and then really happy that the Warriors got it out. Just a strange mix of emotions, and maybe this will be the rallying cry that takes the Warriors all the way back to another Larry O'Brien. I have no idea. I honestly don't know. I'm not optimistic, but I'm not fully pessimistic. Like I said, I just don't know. You can find me on Instagram at RudySolis3. You can find me on Twitter at RudySolis3RD. Give me a shout out. Message me. I love talking to everybody online. I love it, love it, love it. I get so many messages back and forth. I love talking to all you guys. It's awesome. So continue to message me on social media. I love to have these talks, and let's keep going. Let's go, Dub Nation. 2 more games. Well, just 1 more game. I shouldn't say that. 1 more game Thursday. Let's make it happen. So concludes another edition of the GoldCast. We are the voice of the Bay. I'm your host, Rudy Solis III, and with me is you. We'll see you next time. Same GoldCast time, same GoldCast channel.
This is the GoldCast.